Hello everyone and welcome to another FxEdge Power Hour. I am Marcello Ducille and today is February 18th, 2013. We're going to do today what I've done for years, which is an analysis of the markets and evaluation of our strategies, which are based upon the 5 o'clock close of our daily bars and our 4-hour bars. We use that because we find that we have a higher probability of success from a swing trading perspective by doing so. Thereafter, after our market analysis and evaluation, we're going to have a brief questions and answer session. So those of you with the software can ask me whatever questions you'd like to. Those of you who don't have those particular softwares may also ask questions. And you can also make sure that you do what's necessary to make sure that you're synced out with the same trades that we are also taking. All right, so let's talk about the market right now, guys. Once again, it seems like I've been using this word a lot. Consolidation, but that's really what we're in right now. We've got a consolidation or a day where we did nothing. We consolidated on the day, as you can see here, really shown by this 4-hour chart. You can see that we've had no net movement. It's just been flat on the day, so there was really nothing going on today. And this is really, it may come as a surprise to some because we did have an important important last few days, especially speaking about the yen, about the Bank of Japan and what their intentions were. So we expected to see some form of a move to the upside here, and we're still waiting to see it. So let's talk about what we are seeing. I'm going to get rid of this rectangle I've got here. This was our apex. This is our zone where we needed to see a big move in the market. You can see that price popped out, came right back into the apex. So we're right back on the apex, guys. And then on top of it, we're really, this blue line that you can barely see here, that's our 50 EMA. And you can see that we basically bounced off that 50 EMA as well. 50 EMA is at 132.91, really about 13300. The previous day we had a low of 133.05, and we're kind of sitting here, guys. And so we're expecting, as we come right out of this apex, we're expecting to see some more movement. I guess I can redraw this here. We're looking to see some form of a breakout here out of this apex here, either to the upside or to the downside. Really, there's an upside bias for the time being because we did get a retracement in the market that was equivalent to at least on a lower level, the 38.2 level that we wanted to see. So let's talk about it. We're looking at the daily. You can see here that there's a triangle here that's been formed, and really forming a Fibonacci here. Looking at our Fibonacci prior move. Sorry, we're actually sitting right at the 50% fib area. Okay, and that's on the smaller move. Now let's look at the bigger move. So I'm going to get rid of this fib now. And looking back to the bigger move here, you can see that we bounced off of that 38.2, and it did intersect with the the lower end of this trend line that has lasted for quite some time. So if I were to make this a little bit smaller, you can see this trend line that we've had since the middle of last year, so about 8 months now. That trend has been to the upside on the euro dollar. From the bottom, it's gone up, it's bounced down, it's bounced again off this trend line. Very strong trend line here, and looks like it wants to make another bounce here for the time being. And so what we're going to look for is either a bounce up. Now, if that is a failed bounce, guys, we could also see price drop here. Now, and this would actually be a finishing of a head and shoulders, but you never know if you have a head and shoulders pattern until it's formed and you see the actual move. So right now we're looking for a bounce off this trend line where we are, and that's pretty much where we expect to see price movement. So the low here is at 133.00. You can pretty much, based upon what we're looking at here, we can see a bounce at 133.00. Maybe we can see price get down there, give us another shot at it, and really push up to 133.00. That's or push up beyond that, for a few hundred pips eventually. So that's kind of what we're looking for here. As far as the STP is concerned, we don't have a change from green to red or a change from red to green yet. We have no change here. We're going to wait for price to reveal itself and to give us an opportunity. When we have a breakout, we should have if we have a breakout to the upside, we will see a change from red to green. It's pretty close, so maybe another day of positive movement will kick in that STP buy, and so we'll see what the market gives us as far as that's concerned. So that's that. Euro dollar is currently flat in the market. All right, our dollar Swiss. Now, dollar Swiss, we talked about some areas. Now, this has been kind of predictable. In the past, I can tell you that the dollar Swiss was really my peer, really to play the ranges especially as well, because it really liked to stick to those ranges and really obey them pretty well. I can go back because I did almost an exposition on this, taking trades at the highs and the lows of the dollar Swiss in times past. I remember last year we had a really great time for doing that. But anyway, I'll get back to that at some other time. But here's what we have, guys. Basically, we had an area of support and resistance, as I digress. 0.9250 is really what we had as our high, as an area of resistance here, as you can see by this blue line, and the yellow line was our 9200 area, and you can see that price went through it to 9256. Okay, bounced right off of it and kind of just bounced between these 2 points. That's pretty much what we saw on the previous day as well. So that area, that 9200 area, was once an area of resistance for price as it was trying to break through, broke through that area, and now that area is support for the time being. Okay. So what are we looking for here? We may see a retest of that 9250 area, and we'll see what the market does at that point of decision. If it does retrace off of it, we can look to see it go down. If we do see it go down, we're more likely to see the euro also go up, and vice versa. The other side of this is, if price does break out of the 9250 area to the upside on the dollar Swiss here, a potential target would be the 9300 area. It's about 150 pips away as we approach this 50 MA here, or 200 EMA here. Okay. So that's the dollar Swiss. We had a change from red to green. That change from red to green was not valid because it was just too high. Now, I did mention that we were supposed to, or too low. I did mention that we did have a discretionary trade, and it was on this big reversal candle here, as it did coincide with strong areas of support and resistance. And you can see here that price really did obey that, really did go with it. Went up about 180 pips, 3-to-1 win ratio, 62 pips of risk. Really, I called the one at the top here because that was in the direction of the overall trend, and that was the last one I called as well. 50 pips of risk, 313 pips, maximum favorable excursion. So, there are opportunities out there as well, even though, we're not getting the signals. This signal, though, this buy reversal candle actually coincided with the STP change as well. So that was a confirmation for us. And also on the way down, it changed from green to red here. We did have that reversal candle that really did give us a nice sell-off as well. So, keep your eyes peeled and look for a confluence with the STP, the Swing Trader Pro indicator, which I think is it's a very good indicator for finding turns in the market. Obviously, I do. We've been using it on the STP very, very effectively for quite some time. So anyway, we're at 54.50 on the pound dollar. Basically, guys, we had a change from green to red, gave us a sell trade here on the pound dollar. Okay, essentially we're looking for 113 pips. That was our risk. Okay, and you can see that we went down to 66, 67 pips or so. Price comes back up and actually closes out at break even on this pound dollar trade. And you can see that we're holding at that 54, really just about the 54.30 area, which is where this this trend line is, or this horizontal support area is. Horizontal support. All right, so that's the pound dollar, pound yen. Pound yen is gave us a very similar signal to what we've seen on the euro yen as well. They're both telling us that the yen wants to be weakened, and we want to see the pound rise against it. We want to see the euro rise against it at all as well. As you can see here, guys, what's happening is that you know, we've kind of had a hyperbolic or I should say it's kind of a hyperbole, if you will, the angle of this rise that we've seen on the pound yen. And you know, the reality of the situation is that we wanted to see a pullback. We wanted to see a pullback to the 50 EMA at least, and you can see that we kind of have had that. As far as going in line with fundamentals, we do have a buy reversal candle that's telling us that the market wants to move up. It's a very strong buy reversal candle. It's kind of close to the 50 EMA, so you know, watch out for that. Of course, the key will be, you know, if we can get through that 14800 area, 148 area, that will definitely tell us, you know, a little bit more about what the pound yen's intentions are. But you know, that trade is going to be available. We have a change from red to green that we will see tomorrow. So right now it's currently flat, but tomorrow, if this bar closes the way that it looks like it wants to, we could have a buy signal on the pound yen. All right, the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is also bouncing between points. It likes to bounce between and really play with the 200 EMA here. And you know, we're sitting right at this 1.0300 area. This 1.0300 area is a very good area for support, and you can see here that price has bounced below it, but we have maintained that area for the time being, so that is an area to watch for here. And we did have a change from red to green. That change from red to green was just slightly too you know, there's just slightly too much sell pressure, so we're not able to get into it. And that was good because you can see here that price bounced right off of that 200 MA and really did head down about 97 pips or so. So the risk mitigation really did do its job, and or I should say the filters that we have in place. All right, so let's talk about the euro yen. So the euro yen, it really is it's really the king of. It was the king of 2012 and now the king of 2013 so far. It's, you know, the talk of many traders now. And the reality is that we have this beautiful uptrend that we're seeing here. We have, and let me just actually draw this because I don't have it drawn on this chart. My traders have seen this chart. My VIP traders have seen this chart so many times. Really, there was a nice bounce point down here, guys, and this trend line is very, very, you know, it's a trend line that has been established for quite some time. So this is the low, looking back to November of 2012. It's not really the low. It's a low area here. And you can see it's a swing low here, and you can see that price has continued from November of 2012 until now to follow this trend line, and we've just had a bounce right off of it. Our low was 122.87, and this trend line is sitting here at 122.50. You know, it's really about the same area, actually, to be honest with you. And we expected it. I expected a bounce point at 12300, and we kind of got that, pretty much got that. Yeah. Okay. All right, so the euro yen, as far as we're concerned, we've had kind of a back and forth on the euro yen. We had a change from red to green that gave us a buy. We jumped into the buy. Price didn't like that direction at all. It went up in our direction a little bit, came down, and we ended up closing it out for about. So if you risked 2.5%, you would have lost 1.25%. If you risked 5%, you would have lost about 2 to 2.5% on that trade. And then we had another shot at it. We had a change from green to red, and that change from green to red is where we have this low that was formed right on this trend line. And you can see this bounce right off of this trend line, which, you know, can really tell us where the market is and where it wants to go for the time being, or what it would like us to believe about its intention here. And so it's bounced right off that area very strongly, giving us a beautiful reversal candle on the way down here. We went about 110, 112 pips, and the market turned around. Now, for many of you, if you had 50% trend percent on your euro yen, you would have closed out at break even. If you did not, then you may have closed out for a slight loss here as well. So let's see here. We had entry at 125.58, 185. So if you just about half your risk as well. So if you had a 2.5% position, you would have closed it out for 1.25% loss. If you had a 5% position, you would have closed it out for 2.5% loss. So it really depends on where you are, or whether you move that thing to break even at the 50% fib area or not. Okay? 1 second, please. All right, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so basically, if you didn't have that 50% move to break even placed, you would not have suffered a loss here. You would have just moved out, closed this trade out at break even. The bias right now, guys, isn't up. We've had a long-standing uptrend on the euro yen here. We had a bounce point right here off of the trend line here, so we've got to be looking for it to be moving up. We did have an apex here, and we had an opportunity for a breakout to the low side. It did break out. It closed there below it, and it continued down for another 110 or 15 pips, but it rejected that area. So that's really an intention that we can see of the market, that the market wants to continue to move up. Now, if our trend line does hold true, okay, that our stop loss for this euro yen trade is right below that trend line, so that is a good place for us to actually have that trend, that stop loss. I would have probably placed that stop loss in that vicinity as well, maybe slightly lower, but you know, it's good looking from where we are right now. We'll have to wait and see, guys. We're really at this place where this upper trend line can either be a resistance area or it can be a bounce point. We can see price really break through and really head to the upside. So we're going to wait and see. As far as fundamentals are concerned, fundamentally speaking, the euro, the yen is expected to continue to weaken, and as a result, we should be able to see this euro and the pound move higher if those fundamentals continue to be in play. All right, there you have it. All right, so right now the only trade that we have on is the euro yen on the STP. And we're going to wait because we do have a potential opportunity maybe in the next couple of days if we do have a nice buy move here, a nice breakout here of this euro dollar. We very well may see right here. We may very well see you know, a nice buy opportunity on the STP for the euro dollar. Dollar Swiss may have a sell, and of course we're looking for the pound yen to close just basically in this vicinity so that we can go ahead and get into a buy there on the pound yen as well. So there you have it. Aussie dollars really not doing anything right now. All right, and so and of course the euro yen, we just jumped into that trade. All right, so let's take a look at our 4-hour trades here. We had a Quattro, FxEdge Quattro has done well in this trade, in this last few trades, I should say. We basically had a change from red to green that got us into a buy. we were able to hit our first take profit up here and move to break even, and then we were closed out on break even on the second position. Here we had a change from green to red. That gives us a nice sell opportunity. That's actually very timely. We jump in on 26 pips of risk. You can see here that price drops 54 pips, continues to drop to that lower trend line that we had drawn here previously, and that's a nice bounce point. Now guys, remember, I drew this apex last week. This was, this is not a new, I didn't just draw this line. So if you look at it last week when I did draw this line for the FxEdge Quattro, you'll notice that we had this consolidation followed by a push out. So that was really obviously genuine as we saw price move up and come back down again. But you can see that now, where that was an area of resistance previously, it now is an area of support for the euro dollar. So the market really doesn't forget. You can see the lower line was also used as an area of resistance. So that support area back here was used as an area of resistance up here. And so you can see here that there's a widening for the time being of this euro dollar. But anyway, so we had a push down here as we wanted. 30 pips of risk. Price moves down. Maximum favorable excursion of 170 pips. We've got a 12-bar trailing stop. 6, 8, 10, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Our stop is still up here at 87 pips. That means that we walk away from the table with at least a 3-to-1 ratio minimum. So if price continues to move down, clearly that trade can really grow, not exponentially, but certainly geometrically. We can see a continuation or a move that way. And then we expect to see, maybe a bounce off of this area and maybe a head up, a move to the upside here. As far as this change from red to green goes, it was too low for us to continue, so we completely ignored it, and so there was no buy in this area. We're still in the sell, for those of you who will ask me that question. All right, so let's take a look at our IBO Rev first of all. All right, so the IBO Rev gave us I believe it gave us a buy trade. I'm going to repaint this, or refresh it. Let them repaint. All right, so basically, guys, we had a change from, we had a 3-bar IBO in here, a breakout to the upside, giving us this nice reversal candle here. That reversal candle was our IBO Rev sell. Okay, so that is our IBO Rev sell, and basically, as is true to form, the IBO Rev, has cleaned up. It's done pretty well. So there goes your IBO right there, IBO Rev, high probability trade, and you can see here that we had 60 pips of risk, and you can see that price went down for a maximum favorable excursion of about 150 pips. And we're also in our 12-bar trailing stop. Now our stop is, we'll get a stopped out at 65 pips here, which is a 1-to-1 ratio on this IBO Rev. So if you had not gotten into this trade, you could have gotten into this trade on the other side, and it's beautiful. But previous to this, guys, we also had this trade here, which was also a reversal candle. Very, very small risk, 20 pips of risk. And you can see here that price moved up. Unfortunately, it came back down and closed us out at break even here, but on the second position. But we did make the first position there, so that was good. So as you can see here, we're in a sell on the IBO Rev. It's already hit its first take profit. It's moved to break even, and it's waiting to see further movement in the market. And you can see that the market did move down very nicely from that IBO Rev. And of course, our IBO here, we had this IBO. Okay, we had a sell really right at 134.25, 30 pips of risk. Price moves down, hits our first take profit. Second position moves to break even. Same story, same drill. 30 pips of risk, which are 30 pips of profit, which are protected here, and we had a maximum favorable excursion of 120 pips. So at the very least, we can expect, another 30 pips, which is a 1-to-1 ratio as far as profit is concerned. All right, let's take a look at our other stuff. I'm going to start with whatever this is. Let's see. This is our TT3. Our TT3 has actually taken a couple trades. Let's see, on the 15th, which is Friday, we got into a sell. The sell hit its first take profit. Second position did move to break even. And then here you can see that we took a trade, and so it goes out there. And you can see here that we took another trade on the 18th, and that was also a sell. 133.49 was the entry, 133.75 was the stop loss. All right, so about 26 pips of risk, and you can see here that we took our first take profit just 13, 15 pips down the road here, just 1.336, which is 13 pips of profit. We took that very quickly, and that's good because there was no real movement in the market. This was a consolidation, and so we're very fortunate that we were able to take some profit at all on these consolidation trades. And here's our ATR Sniper. ATR Sniper is currently up 5%, as you can see here. It was up 6%. Actually took a hit on this reversal candle here. And we can look for the ATR hopefully to continue to do well and give us, the kind of profitability that we expected to. We haven't had any really big movements yet. When we do have a breakout here on this ATR Sniper, I'm looking forward to seeing even more profitability, getting into that 20% range as profit. So we've kind of had a start here in 2013, and we've just got to keep on waiting and see where price takes us. Triple Threat 3X did well in the last couple of days. ATR Sniper is still up, doing well. STPs currently we're just in the Euro-Yen buy. And so that pretty much is the whole shebang. That's where we're at for the time being. I'm looking forward to seeing some market movements here as far as Build Wealth is concerned. We're currently in a Euro-Yen buy, or yeah, we should be in a Euro-Yen buy there. We evacuated or sold off the Euro-Yen sell that we were previously in. Okay, yesterday, and that was in accordance with what the STP would do eventually, and that's exactly what it did do. It ended up closing out that position and moving into another position. Of course, we were able to do it at a little bit better position there, but 125.40 is where we were at. So were either the IBO or TT3 trades on Build Wealth? No. The TT3 is not being run on it right now. As you can see, it's kind of flat right now for the time being, so it's not even on there. You should have an EJ, and you should have, hold on, let me check on that bond. Yeah, you got 3 EUs there. That's our OWT trade, which has an 85% win ratio. I can show it to you again. And you should have 2 EJ buys as well. The total of the risk on that trade should be 1.5% on the EU trades, and the EJ trade should be what it has generally been. So it's poised for an EU buy for the time being. All right, guys, thanks very much for your time. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for another edition of the FxEdge Power Hour. We'll talk to you soon. All the best. Bye-bye. Oh, Betty, if you're not getting BW trades, Let me check on that because they check on those every day, and I haven't heard any issues with your account or anyone else's. I'll have them check on it for you. But it looks like your account's working just fine from our end, from what I can tell. Okay, talk to you guys tomorrow. All the best. Bye-bye.